The SU-100, Samoukhadia Yusanavika 100 tank destroyer was developed by the Soviet Union in the final stages of World War II to counter the new generation of heavy German tanks. With its powerful firepower and superior armor penetration, the SU-100 quickly became one of the Red Army's most effective fighting vehicles and continued to serve during the early years of the Cold War. Nicknamed Zveroboi, meaning beast hunter. By its crews, the SU-100 played a crucial role in regaining battlefield momentum across Europe. Previously, the nickname Zveroboi had been associated with the SU-152, renowned for its ability to destroy tanks with overwhelming firepower. However, the SU-150 soon earned the same title from its crews, highlighting a different kind of strength. Rather than relying on sheer volume of fire, the SU-150 targets with high-precision strikes from long distances. Both vehicles, each in their own way, left a lasting mark on the history of armored warfare. The introduction of the SU-100 tank destroyer marked a turning point in the Soviet Union's efforts to address new battlefield challenges during the final stages of World War II. By late 1943, the emergence of advanced German tanks like the Panther and the Tiger I and II had rapidly altered the situation on the Eastern Front. Vehicles such as the Su-85 and T-34-85, though once effective, began struggling against the heavy slope frontal armor of their opponents, especially at safe engagement distances. Under pressure from an intense technological arms race, Soviet military leaders realized a more powerful self-propelled gun was needed to regain superiority on the battlefield. In this context, Soviet engineers made a strategic decision to develop a new self-propelled gun based on the chassis of the T-30-45 tank. Using this platform not only took advantage of existing production lines, but also shortened development time and simplified maintenance and logistics in the field. The pragmatic design philosophy focused on rapid production and combat effectiveness continued to define the Soviet defense industry's approach during this critical period. The design work on the Su-100 officially began in February 1944 at the Ural Heavy Machinery Plant, Uromash, in Sverdlovsk, under the leadership of Chief Engineer Lev Gorlitsky. Within just 1 month, the first prototype, designated Object 138, was completed and entered testing. One of the major challenges was selecting an appropriate gun. After extensive trials, the D-10S 100mm gun, an improved version of the B-34 naval gun, was chosen for its superior armor penetration. The D-10S could pierce up to 125 millimeters of steel armor at 2,000 meters, enough to destroy Panther and Tiger tanks from beyond their effective firing range. Beyond firepower, the Su-100 also received significant upgrades in protection. The front hull armor was increased from 45 millimeters to 75 millimeters, sloped at 55 degrees, providing protection equivalent to 125 millimeters of vertical armor. The fighting compartment was also redesigned with a steeper frontal slope to enhance resistance against direct hits. Other improvements, such as the addition of a new commander's cupola and a second ventilation fan, enhanced crew visibility and working conditions inside the vehicle. However, the development of the Su-100 was not without setbacks, since the D-105 was based on a naval design. Suitable 100mm armor-piercing ammunition was not yet ready for mass production. To address this delay, factories adopted a temporary solution, installing the 85mm D5's gun previously used on the Su-85 onto the Su-100 chassis, creating the Su-85M variant. This flexible adjustment showcased the Soviet military industry's ability to adapt quickly under wartime conditions. Despite early challenges, the Su-100 soon proved to be one of the Red Army's most effective tank destroyers. With its outstanding firepower, improved protection, and mass production capability, the Su-100 played a crucial role in helping the Soviet forces regain battlefield momentum in Europe during the final months of the war. The Su-100 was a medium tank destroyer weighing approximately 31.6 tons and measuring 9.45 meters in length, 3 meters in width, and 2.25 meters in height. It was operated by a 4-man crew, driver, gunner, loader, and commander, who also served as the radio operator. The Su-100's main weapon was the D-10S 100mm gun, featuring a barrel length of 5.35 meters and a semi-automatic breech mechanism. However, its limited horizontal traverse meant the entire vehicle had to turn to aim at new targets. The maximum rate of fire reached 5 to 6 rounds per minute, although in practice it was often lower due to cramped space and heavy ammunition. The gun could effectively destroy targets like the Tiger I tank from a distance of 2,000 meters. The SU-100 was equipped with 75 millimeters of frontal armor sloped at 50 to 55 degrees, providing protection equivalent to 125 millimeters of vertical armor. However, the side and rear armor were thinner at just 45 millimeters, making the vehicle vulnerable to attacks from those directions. The roof and floor armor were only 20 millimeters thick, leaving the SU-100 susceptible to artillery fire and mines. The gun mantlet was about 75 millimeters thick, offering additional protection to the main weapon. For mobility, the SU-100 used the V234 diesel engine, producing between 5 and 520 horsepower. It could reach speeds of 48 to 50 kilometers per hour on roads and around 20 kilometers per hour across rough terrain. Its operational range varied from 250 to 320 kilometers on roads and 140 to 180 kilometers off-road, extendable with auxiliary fuel tank. The Christie suspension system provided good maneuverability, making this SU-100 suitable for prolonged campaigns. Crew layout inside the SU-100 was quite cramped. The driver sat at the front left, while the gunner and loader operated in the fighting compartment. The commander occupied a raised cupola. However, the limited space made ammunition handling and internal movement difficult. Although officially entering Red Army service in September 1944, the SU-100 only truly saw combat toward the end of that year, after resolving issues with the supply of 100mm ammunition. It was rapidly deployed to key fronts during the final stages of the Great Patriotic War. The SU-100 played a crucial role in several campaigns, notably in Hungary during Operation Frühlingserwachen, Spring Awakening, in March 1945, and the Battle of Berlin between April and May 1945. In Berlin, although not designed for urban assault, the D10S gun's firepower proved highly effective in demolishing fortified enemy positions. After Germany's surrender, the SU-100 was sent to the Far East to participate in the Manchurian Campaign against Japan in August 1945. On the battlefield, it quickly earned the trust of Soviet tank crews, thanks to the D10S gun's impressive armor penetration, allowing it to counter German tanks like the Panther and Tiger I effectively. However, the Tiger II King Tiger remained a superior adversary in terms of armor and firepower. Some sources claim that only about 13 SU-100s were lost in combat, though this figure requires careful verification. Following World War II, the SU-100 remained in service with the Soviet military and was exported to numerous countries. It took part in major Cold War conflicts, including the Korean War, the Suez Crisis, the Arab-Israeli Wars, and the Vietnam War. Although it gradually became outdated with the rise of modern tanks and anti-tank weapons, the SU-100 has continued to see use even today in conflicts such as the Yemeni Civil War. The SU-100's widespread deployment across the world and in various wars highlights the success of its fundamental design and the effectiveness of the D10S gun. However, advancements in military technology have increasingly exposed its vulnerabilities against modern anti-tank weapons. The SU-100, one of the Soviet Union's most notable tank destroyers, left a profound mark on military history. Born during the intense struggles of World War II, it was not only the product of an urgent development process, but also a strategic response to the superiority of German tanks, particularly the Panther and Tiger models. Combining the powerful firepower of the D10S 100mm gun with the mobility of the T-3485 chassis, the SU-100 quickly proved itself as a highly effective tank killer, playing a crucial role in the Red Army's victories on the Eastern Front. Beyond its combat role during World War II, the SU-100 became a military icon through its widespread export during the Cold War. As an integral part of many armies, this self-propelled gun participated in numerous conflicts and was deployed in hotspots around the world. Its combat effectiveness and reliability allowed it to maintain a vital role within many armed forces, even long after the war ended. Designed with a pragmatic philosophy focused on mass production capability, the SU-100 reflected the Soviet Union's inventive approach to weapon development. Although its casemate design had clear limitations, such as a narrow firing arc and lack of secondary armament, the combination of powerful firepower and strong frontal armor still ensured optimal battlefield performance. The SU-100 reached its highest effectiveness when employed correctly in suitable tactical scenarios, such as long-range engagements or ambush operations, and highlighted the importance of close coordination with other units to protect its inherent vulnerabilities. Although the SU-100 has long lost its dominance in modern warfare due to the development of advanced anti-tank weapons, its prolonged service life, still present in some armies today, is a testament to the durability and adaptability of its design. The story of the SU-100 not only reflects the success of Soviet military engineering, but also serves as a lesson in the importance of strategy and flexibility in combat.